That's his third down conversion. Back to him they go. The flea flicker.
And a flea flicker. Flea flicker. Blunt threw it back.
The flea flicker.
Flea flicker.
Now you got a flea flicker.
Well, this is a flea flicker they've been running for many, many years up here in New England.
Welcome to Flea Flicker Nightcap. Today we are previewing Rams versus 49ers, and it should be a good one. Pal, do you know what's been very unusual this season?
What, T-Bush?
The Thursday night football games don't look like the preseason anymore. We've had an unreal set of high-scoring, ultra-competitive games on Thursday night, and that's never really been the case.
Yeah, man, you're right about that. There have been some great, like we had that snow game. We've had some good offensive games. We've had divisional matchups that actually mean something. And yeah, we're going to continue that trend this week.
If you haven't already, please follow our Instagram and TikTok with over 200,000 followers each. We post a lot more football content on those platforms, and we like to make fun of your favorite NFL teams, so go check those out. One more thing included in the link in this video is a link to a monthly sports handicap service, Flea Flicker Picks, where we give pro daily sports picks. Go take a peek at that as well. Now back to the NFL action. The Amazon Prime crew will be in San Francisco for a highly important divisional game between mastermind head coaches Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. It's worth noting the Niners have struggled as of late, but are coming off a very strong 38-13 win versus the Bears, while the Rams, they won a thriller at home versus Josh Allen and the Bills 44-42. Vegas has a current over-under total at 49.5 and has San Francisco covering the spread by 3 points at home. First thoughts, Pal Patel, what do you like?
I'm going to take the home dogs. I'm seeing that line set at 3. And honestly, my gut instinct is telling me the Niners are going to be able to make that cash. I think they're going to be at home, play with the crowd. It's an important divisional game late in the year. This is when you expect teams like the Niners to show out and get wins. And I think that's what happened. And then with the over, I think, set at 49, that's a pretty aggressive line. If it was a little bit, 5-6 points less, I would have definitely hit that over. But with the way it is at 49, both of these defenses are going to come out this week ready to prove a point after getting embarrassed this past week. I think this is going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. They're going to have to earn every yard, every score, and I think the under is more likely to hit than the over.
Interesting. I'm completely fading you on this one, and I'm looking at the matchup earlier this season when the Rams, without Puka Nacua, beat the San Francisco 49ers 27-24. The LA is 6-2 since the bye week. Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua are playing some of the best football we've seen from their entire career. I know it's been a short one for Puka. A big win over Buffalo showed some resilience against a top team. What happened to the 49ers when they played the Buffalo Bills? Rams? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that game was awful. That was just over at halftime. Christian McCaffrey out for the year. It looked like their game plan was kind of built around him. He was effective, but he couldn't be available. And the Bills were just smoking him. But then, I don't think the Niners are that team that we saw in Buffalo. I think that they've changed. Brock Purdy's a better quarterback, and I think they'll show something on Thursday night.
I do think they're trending upwards. What does scare me is that they played a low-tier team in the Bears, and the three prior losses to that game, they're averaging just 12 points a game. So
yeah,
I'm thinking the Rams are 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 games against the 49ers, and I think the public is underestimating what LA can do the rest of this season.
They've been hot. The Rams, if you want to be playing your best football at any time of the year, you want it to be in November, going into December, into the playoffs. I think this Rams team is really good. They're deep. Like you mentioned the playmakers they have on offense, but I think this game is going to be determined by the line play, and I really like this 49ers defensive line to disrupt Matthew Stafford. That did not happen on Sunday. The Bills were not able to get in much pressure. Their coverage was also pretty weak. I think the Niners are going to play a little bit cleaner football on that end of the ball, and they're going to keep their offense on the field more with the way that Shanahan likes to play.
And why do you think the under is going to hit?
I think so. First of all, I have this like personal kind of like superstition, I guess. I'm sure that the numbers are out there to prove this. I don't have it off the top of my head, but divisional matchups, the second time they're played, trend under more than the over. It's like the last time I saw it, the clip was at like 60%, 65%. And that's a pretty strong trend. I've seen it happen as well. So that's just one thing for me personally. Later season football, maybe it's because of the weather, maybe it's because of the implications. You're playing safer football, more conservative. But I like the unders in these second divisional matchups. And then specifically with these two teams, they're coming off horrible showings on defense, both giving up, 40 points, or not the Niners defense, but even for the Rams, that game was a complete shootout. Their defense is going to want to really make a statement, show what they're worth. Like you said, the Rams have been surging. A big part of that is because of their defense as well. I think they'll put on a better show than they did this past week. And then with the Niners, I think their strength from now on for the rest of this year, if they want to have a good playoff push, they need to rely on their defense. They need it to step up. Maybe not carry the offense, but we've seen it with teams that are good in the postseason with the Chiefs, the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan the last couple of years, and I know that our defense in the playoffs rises to the occasion, and that keeps us in games that we might not have business being in. So I think that both of these defenses are going to show out.
I do agree with the fact that this defense is letting up a lot of points, and this is a large factor why I'm picking the over. 42 points to the Bills. It's the Bills. They're going to put up a lot of points, but 42 is a lot, especially in the last 2 minutes of the game where where the Rams could have ended it essentially with 3 minutes
Mhm.
left. They left Josh Allen complete a 4th and 15. I'm very worried about their secondary, but I'm probably more worried about this 49ers defense too. I mean, it's not looking the same. If we're talking about the offensive side of the football, these two teams combined for 51 points in September. It hit the over of 44 and a half. Then the over for this game is 49 and a half, and both these offensive units have gotten better. We talked about Puka Nacua being back. They're coming off a season high in scoring last game, and they're averaging 26 points per game over their last 7 games. I mentioned their record since the bye week. 26 plus in 4 games this season, and they're airing it out. This is a must-win game scenario for both teams. I don't see why they wouldn't empty the playbook. Any props, pal, that you looked at earlier today that catch your eye?
Yeah, for sure. I think we got to throw Matthew Stafford's name out there whenever we're talking about primetime football. If he's playing, he's going to be a factor. The Rams, like you've said, they've relied on him on his arm to have success in these past couple of games. That trend shows no sign of stopping down. I think you should take his over passing touchdowns. 1.5 is the line. I think that he has multiple passing touchdowns in his past games, and then with Cooper Cup and Puka Nacua, he's gonna have his targets, and he's gonna do some damage with them on Thursday night.
Yeah, we've been talking about Puka Nacua all episode pretty much, and his over for receiving yards is set at 75 and a half. My rationale is he has been a standout rookie, or he was a standout rookie last year. He's leading the team in receiving yards with one less game played. Cooper Kupp is second. His chemistry with Stafford is like obviously evident. We know how uh, great Stafford is with number one wide receivers. And it's kind of funny that Cooper Kupp is taking a backseat to Puka Nacua because he's the young guy. He's the young bull. He's going absolutely off right now. This 49ers secondary is they're facing a lot of challenges right now. And I believe Puka is poised for another big game after he went off last week.
He's practically unstoppable though. Puka Nacua, it's hard for him. It's hard to stop him. He can get that yak. He's a yak monster. He makes tough catches. He lines up in the slot, plays outside, does it all.
He's a sneaky, athletic guy. Like you look at him, and we all realize he's a big dude, but he doesn't like. It looks like he moves so elegantly out there, but he's
Hmm.
traveling at high speed, and
Yeah.
it's very exciting to see. If the Rams win this one, they'll maintain their second place spot in the NFC West and cushion themselves in the wild card race. Would be a massive win. Their playoff chances would be over 50%. And at that point, it's up to Seattle to pave the way for LA to win the division with the loss. San Francisco will essentially then have a less than 1% chance to make the playoffs. and will probably be eliminated sometime next week with another team's win. However, if the Niners win, their playoff odds move to 11%, not too high, but they tie the Rams for second place in the division at 7-7, and they still have to hope for a lot of things to go their way the rest of this 2024 season. Let's close out with a little shout out to Bill Belichick. He got the UNC head coaching job after around a year of waiting. No NFL team decided to pick him up, and he decides to go the college route. What do you think, pal?
I'm a big fan of the move. If you watched Bill Belichick's recent press conferences, he was on the Pat McAfee show. He talked a lot about his motivation for wanting to go back and coach specifically in college. And for him, it's all about mentoring that next generation. With Pat McAfee, he talked about how his goal is to pitch these parents that, hey, I'm preparing your son for life, teaching how to face challenges, not just for him to be an NFL player, but also be a successful businessman or follow whatever career they want to follow post football. And I think when you have that kind of motivation, success follows. And Bill Belichick is, one of the, if not the greatest head coaches of all time. So I have no doubt he's going to make his legacy there.
It'll be exciting. I really don't know how it's going to turn out in the win column. It'll be super interesting to watch. I know he did say he wants to take this UNC program and turn it into a pre-NFL program essentially,
Hmm.
and prepare them to be athletes, pro athletes, and then also prepare them for life after being an athlete. And that will do it for Flea Flicker Nightcap. Catch us for after the game, after the Thursday night matchup, where we will do a little recap. See you guys.